Good morning everyone, welcome to a new special episode. Today I am joined by Joey Helms, the one and only Tour de France winner, not yet, very soon. Photographer, videographer, filmmaker. Joey is joining me and he has 5 accessories that you think are essential in your camera bag. And I also have 5, so that's gonna be a total of 10. Mine are good if you're beginner, intermediate, pro, no matter kind of what level. I think you should consider having those in the bag. And yeah, they're kind of the essential as a photographer. So Joey's gonna start, but at any point, if you have ideas of really cool accessories, drop them in the comments below because I'm always interested also to discover new things. So Joey, get started.
So number 1 is a multi-tool.
Ooh.
You wanted me to start with something exciting.
Yeah.
I'm picking something that is underrated, but definitely always helpful, especially if it doesn't actually matter like how far you're down in the photography, filmmaking journey. Imagine just like putting a cheese plate on your camera underneath. Like such a small, tiny multi-tool can help you to screw it in because we know always like after a while they start moving around. If you rig up your camera, these multi-tools come in very handy because you may attach things to your cage, to your camera body. And yeah, well that for sure, the cheese plate, but like even like if you rig out a camera.
Does it work for camembert also?
As well, yeah. I mean, you can put in the holes back into the cheese.
Ah.
That's what these things are there for as well. So they can be as small as this one, super handy. You just throw it in the bag and you have all kinds of hex screws in there, a screwdriver, and you can even, you know,
I never thought of that. That's
you know,
that's
like
a good one.
when you have a
actually.
tripod, how often do these freaking arms,
Yeah,
clamps where you like loosen up? That's why you use one of those. You tighten it up and you don't get annoyed by them like.
Yeah, that happens, and then you're like, there's a screw and you don't have the right tool because the other one
these
are for
arms,
the
these
cheese plates.
articulating arms there, they get
Right there.
sometimes really loose and then they flop around. You
or even
squeeze
the
your
screw
finger.
there. Yeah.
So this is helping you not to get injured and to have it at the ready whenever you need to tighten some screws.
Nice. You can get one also with a saw on it. So if you're stuck in the forest, you can cut something.
Yeah, or with a flashlight.
With
you
tons of things.
You can get them color matching to your t-shirts too.
Yeah. Good idea.
So
nice. I like that first one. It's actually very helpful because I just throw X keys in my bag and then I never know where they are. So my first one is going to be something that I've talked about in the past.
There's so much on the table.
I know.
I don't know what he's gonna pick.
It is something that goes to your backpack. It's a strap right here. It's a clip to attach your camera. But if you're like, Pierre, this is the 10th time you're talking about it. Yes, but this was a peak design I've been using for years and it goes right here with your camera. But now I'm actually testing another one, and you may have heard of, I don't know if it's a hype, but of the Falcam one from Ulanzi. And the advantage, it's a lot easier to put on and off. This is the peak design. It's big, and when your arm does like that, it actually enters into your shoulder. It's
unless
great.
you have it on the other side.
Well, I have one on each side, but then it enters into your inside.
Like into your body.
Yeah. So it's not great because if you're climbing, if you're reaching, like carrying, you can only put it at a very specific point. If it's lower, it always like hits. So anyway, it's been helpful for years, but now this one is a lot more compact. We tried with me on the back. It's actually a lot easier to do when it's not on your back. So you put that little latch on. There's 2 parts and it sandwiches the strap, right? That the little thing comes in. You just clip it on top. It actually is a lot smaller. So if I put it back on now, you will see that it takes a lot less space. Also, this metal part and the screws are a little complex. Okay, they work over time, but if you go from warm to cold instantly with that, all the screws are loose because of the dilation, which I think this will work better how it is, and it feels safer, I would say. But also, like, you have to lock them really hard, and after a while I mean, you can see they're used because sometimes I use a key to do that. So at the end of the day, this one, the Falcam Dual Lensi, is like super easy. You just slide it in, that's it. And to open it is just that little lock. You can also lock it if you want. Overall, it's a pretty cool system. I feel like they're trying a little bit harder than Peak Design, that I feel like has been like, oh, we're so cool now, we don't need to invent much.
Challenger brands are always putting out the most innovative stuff there.
So, oh, it's actually cheaper. It's like 20 bucks cheaper. Instead of 75, it's like 50 Cool. Something like that. I'll put it on the screen. There's no small profit in this world nowadays. Okay, Joey, we're gonna move on to the next one, but why don't you tell us super quickly who you are?
So, hey guys, yeah, my name is Joey Helms. I'm a photographer, filmmaker mostly. I have a channel about filmmaking, documentary work as well.
Joey does really beautiful, very cinematic work, so I highly encourage you to check it out. And if you don't know me, my name is Pierre Lambert. I'm a travel adventure photographer and the creator of the 30-day Adventure to Great Photo, a step-by-step method for taking better photos and training your eyes to see those photos.
Sign up for that.
Yeah, and number 2, Joey, ready?
Yeah, my next one is a hard drive, an SSD hard drive in particular. Well, the reason why I love carrying hard drives with me, and honestly, I usually have a bunch of them with me, especially when it comes to shooting video. You accumulate data a lot, especially on like let's say like a 1 or 2 week trip. I like having a hard drive with me where I can on every evening. You know, remember in Iceland, we always like back up all the footage, all the photos at the end of the day, so that you may still have enough capacity on your SD cards on the camera, but I always like to back it up because you never know, especially with drones, it may fly away, and then you're like, I haven't backed up my data because I didn't have like a hard drive with me. So I always carry a bunch of SSDs, and the reason why is as well is because they're more compact than traditional hard drives.
So
this one is super tiny.
This is the SL500 from Lexar. Just got it recently. Lexar is also a sponsor of this video, and you can check them out. They have really cool products for data storage, SD cards. We'll talk more about them in a second, but I've been surprised by how small it is. So
yeah,
it's super portable.
And what I do personally from a video side specifically as well, like during those trips, is when I have them on SSDs, I can already start editing from it, right? Like I have all my project files on it. I have all the footage. I can start combing through it. I can start building proxies. I can start putting a rough cut together. Video, and because they're fast, I can actually edit off them from my video editor or photo editor.
Yeah, same for me with the photos. I just dump them on there and more from that.
It's definitely like worth the investment always.
Yeah.
Although they're more expensive than spinning hard drives. But they're tiny, they're fast.
And I love that this is 4 terabyte. I use a 4 terabyte also for my that's attached to my laptop. So this is great item. Speaking of number 2 storage, the SD card. Okay, we're talking about SD cards are essentials, right? You need to have them in your camera at all time to take photos, that's obvious. Different memory cards will give you different results, whether it's in write speed or read speed, meaning when your camera is going to record the information or when you're going to read it on your computer, right? And some cameras will require more or less fast memory cards in order to achieve the optimal performance with the burst mode and all that. So in terms of memory cards, you have many options possible. One of them that is actually pretty solid is the new Lexar Professional Silver series. So we have a HUS1 card, which is good enough for most people doing photography, honestly. We have 205 megabytes per second in read speed and 150 in write speed. So just so you know, this read and write speed is very important for you to make sure it works with your camera. If you're on a A7 IV or any everyday camera, it's gonna be perfect. Now, add the cool thing with the Lexar cards, it also comes with the recovery software. So in case you have anything and you do like me today, I took Kira's camera, my daughter, and I pressed delete for one photo, and this camera is designed that when you press delete, deletes all the photos. So now I'm literally going on the recovery software trying to...
That works?
Yeah, the recover, yeah, it's pretty impressive. So check it out, link in the description for the memory cards. Thanks Lexar again for being a sponsor here. And Joey, what do you have next for us?
I like to have weird lenses with me as an essential.
As a lens dealer.
As a lens dealer.
Anyone gets that reference from old videos in Chicago? Watch them here.
As a lens dealer, I like to have weird lenses with me. So this is like just one example of a weird lens. But let's start with saying why. Because I think weird lenses always challenge you creatively to take things with a different perspective, especially when it gets dull after a while, you know, like especially if you shoot a lot like we do. Sometimes you don't find inspiration in the subjects anymore, but you find it in interesting perspectives and interesting lenses like this one here, which is a probe lens. So it's a macro lens where you can, for example, get very close to the eye and get some iris shots, but you can also put it in like places, and it's a wide angle. It's a wide angle macro lens. So
sorry, we never grew up.
Yeah, you can actually get it very close up and still have a wide field of view. So that's that lens, but overall overall, it stands really for the opportunity to just like try things out differently.
Is that the one we used with the donuts?
We used the predecessor. This one is the new one. It's a little faster. It's T8 instead of T40. It's a smaller depth of field, but it's faster, especially when you shoot video, when you need otherwise you need a lot of light for these. And so this is actually the video version. So you see the gearing here, which is, you know, when you have like a focus motor or so you can use that. But really, like this is not the handiest lens to carry around, but like the tilt shift lenses that you tried out. There's different like interesting, even cheap lenses that you can just play around. Like Lens Baby does a lot of like interesting lenses, just like artistic lenses. To play around. So like I like to have one of those.
I like that idea. I think it's very important. If you're always shooting the same thing, if you're like, you know, every day out there grinding, and maybe even if you're doing it for a job, you know, sometimes it's just nice to go with something else and be like, ooh, this is fun, you know, like changes your perspective. What if I do the same shots but completely different perspective? I think that's cool. Now, third item for me is going to be light. Okay, why light? Because I think it's super important to actually go shoot in nighttime, right? I think it's great. I think it's fun, especially if you're in winter in Northern Hemisphere. The sun's going down super early. What are you gonna do? You come out of work and it's already dark? Well, go try and play a little bit with light. There is some small light stuff like this. This is a small rig, Aperture. Many companies do similar things. They're great. You can change the color, all that, but you don't even have to go all pro on this. You can also just take a headlamp, and a headlamp will already, you see, you're getting some cool effects just like that. You can actually play with this on the field, in my opinion, especially if you want to do like night shots. I've literally done so many shots like that where I use it to do a light trail or a quick light painting. Well, anyway, what's your next one, Joey?
My next one is a black mist filter.
Oh.
So this one is a Tiffin Black Pro Mist. It's a
hey, it's transparent, it's not black.
No,
I mean, the ring is black.
Oh, yeah. But what this filter does is, especially when you shoot video, I think it's more like a video filter, honestly.
Oh, photo, great.
Yeah.
Portraits.
For portraits, yeah.
Nighttime.
Nighttime?
Yeah.
Well, either way, what this filter does, it kind of softens the highlights. So be it like a bright light source here. Actually, should we just like hold it in front of this camera here? There we go. You see that little glow here.
You see I'm glowing.
And here as well. And it's like Pierre said, I need to talk to the microphone. Like Pierre said, it's also great for portraits because it sort of softens the skin, the highlight points of your skin as well, and gives it a little bit more of an organic look. Especially with these cameras that are super sharp and super digital usually. This gives it a little bit more of like a classic organic look, a little bit more of a vibe. So big fan of the Black Pro Mist filters.
Yeah, I love mist filters also. I have them. Definitely recommending that. While we are on the filters, I'm gonna plug my filters. I don't have my filters. I don't have my brand.
You launched filter brand?
Yeah, like link in the description. The PTL filter. So anyway, I haven't launched any filter brand. I thought about it honestly, for real. Coming back to your point, I think the mist is very important. What do I have in my hand? I have an ND8. Okay, I think ND filters extremely important. I was talking to someone the other day, and he was asking which filter should I get, and I'm like, get an ND, for example, ND8 or ND100, depending, or 1000, depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do very slow exposures, long exposures in daytime with the rivers and stuff, and you want that very smooth water, ND1000, you may have to go up there. But honestly, ND8 will help you open your lens to f1.4 in full daytime. It will help you slow down your shutter speed to get some cool effects, do some tracking, panning shots, all that. So for me, ND is super important, and I'll throw in another one at the same time, which is the PL, the polarizing filter, CPL, which is crucial if you want to remove any kind of reflections on surfaces, and it gives a richer color, deeper and more contrasty, and I use them all the time.
Sky a lot,
Yeah. There is a few caveats. There is a few caveats that you should know about those filters, and I'll link to a different video somewhere here on the screen. You can check it out or in the description. You can watch it to learn more about them and why or why not you may want to use some, but super important. And I will say step down ring.
That's actually very important.
Yeah, it's super important if you don't want to overpay in filters. Otherwise you're gonna buy every filter 3 times.
Yeah.
So
get an 82 and then get step down rings.
Yeah,
so that
means you can go from 82 millimeter filter and adapt it on a 67, for example, millimeter thread on your lens. Important. And I have just this soft pouch. It's been great for me. I had a hard case. It's too heavy.
Yeah.
What's yours?
My last one?
Yeah.
Well, ooh. I still can't let go of the Gorilla Pods for some reason.
You're the Casey Neistat.
I still have some, especially if you want to set up a camera really quick, if you want to record yourself, or if you want to even if you don't want to carry around a tripod, but let's say you want to get a long exposure. Yeah, exactly. Size, weight. You can just put it on the...
Size matters when it comes to carrying.
Yeah, you just put it on top of your backpack and it's super easy to carry around. But even if you don't want to use it to film yourself, I mean, that's how Casey Neistat really made it a thing. But I use it mostly to either put up a camera stationary if you want to have some talking head, or also when you want to do some long exposure shooting. Time lapse. So you can even say you have a rock or a big tree branch, and you can just put it around it and then have your exposure while it's pretty stationary.
So watch out, people. Number 5 is a lens pan. Oh, and a little blower I didn't bring with me, but just a cleaning kit in general. They're very helpful. They're great. You can just do like this on your lens. Honestly, they have a little brush. You see, now it's gonna be all greasy, but you know, it's great for your lens. Very helpful, but also just a little pouch like that, just a little microfiber cloth is a lifesaver, and I always keep it on the side pocket in my backpack. I just find it very important. Now, just quick tip, if it's wet, muddy stuff, do not use this, because then your microfiber is gonna be full of sand, and next time you use it, you're gonna hear and that's no good. I do have a bonus one for traveling. This little cable, you can buy USB-C to USB-A adapters for the plane. If you're a photographer and you travel, that means you can use your normal charging cables. You just add this and now you can plug it in the plane, which means you can charge your camera in the plane. You can do a lot of things. Super helpful. I always actually carry 1 or 2 in my backpack because they're very small and you tend to not remember which pocket you put them in.
Yeah, and planes tend to be outdated and old. Yes. Always USB technology.
Yeah. I haven't seen the USB-C seats yet. Joey, what do you think? Do we have a good recap? Anyone with that in his bag is going to feel nice and heavy.
Yeah, you may need a camera as well.
And a camel to carry your...
Yeah, you need a camel and a camera to carry all the stuff.
And with that being said, guys, if you have any other accessory, I would encourage you to put them below so we can discover them. Honestly, if you have new techniques or new tools that are evolved and are much easier to use, I'm always down to hear it. Remember, get out there, go shoot, try something different, try something new. And if you don't know Joey, go say hi to Joey.
Hi, guys. Bye.